Hi, this is Matt Weber from Brody Precision. In this video, we're going to take a look at Tosibox and product selection, picking out the right products to get started. We get a lot of questions about this, so I figured it was a good opportunity to break it down and explain it a little bit better. So in order to pick out the right products to use for your use case or your implementation of Tosibox, it's easiest to take a look at how the Tosibox system is architected. So we start out with a master key here in the middle. This is sort of our gateway between our keys that our users use and our locks which live out in the field and connect us to our sites. So the way it starts is your master key is used to match up with your locks using the USB port on the locks. It's a couple second process. You plug the USB key into the lock, pull it out, and you're done. You're now linked up. From there, your master key is then plugged into a computer, and you can use it to set up subkeys, and those subkeys you would assign to users and give to users and assign access to whichever sites and locks they may need access to. You can see we have a couple of different options for our subkeys, but our master key always needs to be a USB hard key. So if we take a look at our options for our locks, we've got 4 different options, and you can see our lock 500 really is the 500 and the 500i are basically the same thing with the exception of their cellular. The lock 500i has a cellular card built in. You just supply the SIM card from the carrier that you want to use. So the main differentiator between all of the models of the Tosibox is our VPN throughput capabilities. So our lock 150 can do 10 concurrent connections for VPN at one time. This doesn't mean that you can only have 10 users associated with the lock. It just means you can only have 10 users connected to that lock at the exact same time. The 200 gives us 50 users, and the same with the 500. With the 150, we have 10 megabits of throughput. This is typically more than adequate for our uses in building automation. We're not typically sending a lot of data through our connections. The 200 gives us 15 megabits, so a little bit more, and then the 500 and the 500i give us significantly more throughput capabilities for VPN. Difference with the 150 is that it's got built-in Wi-Fi, you can see here, and that gives us some additional options. All of the locks are capable of cellular using the USB ports that are built in, but the 500i, as I said before, has the modem built in. You just have to supply it with SIM cards to get you onto your carrier's network. The 150 and the 200 have DIN rail adapters that come in the box, so you can put them on DIN rail, but natively they don't have that DIN rail adapter built into them. The 500 and the 500i do. So that is the locks. So now if we go to the keys, this is what our users will use. We have a couple different options here. We have a TBK2, which is our hard key, our USB key. And the nice thing with this is that it includes a mobile key license, and you can bounce it between computers if you need to. If you need the flexibility to use a couple different computers to access all of your sites, the hard key, the TBK2, is the way to go there. The soft key is a little bit different because it's a piece of software that gets installed on the computer and the key gets matched to that specific computer. It can be revoked later from your master key because that's where it gets licensed to. But it's a little bit more difficult to hop between computers if you needed that ability, and you'll note too that it also does not include a mobile key license. And then we have the mobile key, as I said, it comes with the hard key, and it can be purchased separately, and it gets licensed to the key that you want it to be used with. This could be a master key or it could be a sub key, and they can be purchased in packs just like the soft key can, 1 packs, 5 packs, and 10 packs. So how does the product selection work? Really, if it's your first Tosibox job and you haven't implemented before, you don't have a master key that's going to sort of let you manage all of your sites and all your users, you're going to purchase one TBK2 that will be used as your master key. And then you'll purchase a key of any type per user. And that could be a USB key, it could be a soft key, it could be a mobile key depending on your use case. As I mentioned before, the USB key comes with a mobile key, and that USB key gives you a little bit more flexibility than the soft key does. And then for our sites, we're picking out the lock that best fits our use cases, and we've got 4 different options there as we discussed earlier. So really you've got a key per user, you've got a lock per site, and then you're just purchasing that additional key to use as your master key if you haven't done so already, or this is your first implementation of Tosibox. So hopefully that helps clear things up a little bit when it comes to Tosibox product selection. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at tsupport@bradyprecision.com, and we're more than happy to help. Thanks.